Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're doing a deep dive into, well, one of the most intense stories you'll find in ancient texts, the destruction of Sodom. Lot's escape. It's quite something. The source material we're looking at is just incredibly vivid, isn't it? Full of these really astonishing details. It's a story people have debated for, gosh, centuries. So our goal here is really to pull out the key insights for you, kind of a shortcut to understanding this whole dramatic account.
Yeah, and what's fascinating, I think, is how this one narrative packs in so much. You've got divine judgment, questions of human morality, sheer survival. It really lays bare these fundamental ideas about, hospitality, justice, even where families come from, lineage. We'll basically walk through the events as the text describes them, highlighting the choices, the consequences, which are often pretty surprising, even challenging.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. It opens evening time in Sodom. Seems normal enough, but then two, angelic figures arise. And we find Lot just sitting there at the city gate, which is like the main public space, right?
Exactly, the hub of activity.
He sees them, gets up immediately, bows right down, face to the ground, and then he's incredibly insistent they come home with him. He says, "Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house. Stay the night, wash your feet, the whole deal."
But they actually say no at first. Nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
Yeah, which seems a bit odd.
Well, it highlights Lot's next move. The text says he pressed upon them greatly. He wouldn't take no for an answer. And that insistence is really key. In that culture, sheltering strangers wasn't just, being nice. It was a massive deal, a sacred duty almost. Travelers were incredibly vulnerable. So Lot's really forceful hospitality here. It stands in such stark contrast to what the city does next. He's basically creating a sanctuary for them.
Right. So they finally agree. They go into his house. He makes them a feast, unleavened bread, a proper welcome, but that calm, it doesn't last long at all.
No, it shatters pretty quickly. Before they even settle down for the night, the text says the house is surrounded. And it's not just a few troublemakers, it's the men of the city, even the men of Sodom. It specifies both old and young, all the people from every quarter. Basically, the whole town seems to be there.
Wow, okay. And their demand is pretty blunt.
Yeah.
They shout a lot, "Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them."
Yeah.
So that we may know them. That phrase, it doesn't just mean get acquainted, does it? Give the context.
Oh, absolutely not, no. In this context, the implication is crystal clear and, frankly, brutal. It means they intend to sexually assault the visitors, violently. This isn't just bad manners or lack of hospitality. It's pointing to a complete societal breakdown, a profound corruption. The text paints this picture of, pervasive wickedness, where the entire community, old and young, is involved in this aggression.
Targeting strangers for abuse.
Exactly. They've completely twisted the idea of sanctuary. The guest, who should be protected, becomes the target. It's a really dark picture of that society.
And Lot's reaction, I'm like, this is one of the moments that people really grapple with ethically. He goes outside, shuts the door behind him, protecting the guests inside, I guess. And he pleads with them, calls them brethren, says, "Do not so wickedly." But then he makes this offer.
It's horrifying to our sensibilities.
He says, "Behold now, I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes." Basically offering his virgin daughters to the mob. "Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof."
It puts Lot in this impossible position, doesn't it? As awful as that offer is, it underlines just how incredibly important protecting a guest under your roof was in that culture. That was the absolute priority. He's trying to uphold that sacred duty, even at this, devastating personal cost to his own family.
But the crowd doesn't even care about his offer, do they?
Not at all. It shows their complete disregard, not just for the guests, but for Lot himself, too. They just shout, "Stand back!" They accuse him of being an outsider, a sojourner who has no right to judge them. This one fellow came in a sojourn, and he will needs be a judge.
Yeah.
Their anger just ramps up. They threaten him directly. "Now will we deal worse with thee than with them." And then they physically try to break down the door, pressing sore upon the man, even Lot. It's chaos, pure mob rule.
Okay, so it's literally the breaking point. They're about to break the door down, assault Lot, assault the guests, and then divine intervention.
Yes, swift and decisive. The angels inside reach out, pull Lot back into the house, and slam the door shut, just in time.
And then they deal with the mob outside, but not with, fire or swords.
No, it's more specific. They strike the men at the door, both small and great, the text says, with blindness. Suddenly, this raging mob is just fumbling in the dark. The text says they wearied themselves to find the door. Imagine the confusion.
Yeah, instantly neutralized.
Exactly. It's incredibly effective. It stops the threat completely without, overt violence from the angels themselves at that point. It just incapacitates the mob. And it's right after this that the angels reveal their full mission to Lot.
Right. They tell him basically, got anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, anyone you care about in this city, get them out.
And they give the reason, straight up. For we will destroy this place because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it.
That phrase, the cry of them, what does that signify?
It suggests that the sheer volume, the weight of their wickedness, their injustice, their violence, that total lack of hospitality, the basic human decency, it had reached a kind of critical mass.
It had become so overwhelming that it demanded divine attention, demanded judgment. It's framed as a direct consequence of their actions, a response to that pervasive moral corruption.
So the destruction is decreed. The escape needs to happen now. Dawn is breaking. Lot tries to warn his sons-in-law, the ones engaged to his daughters, tells them, up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city.
But they just laugh at him, don't they?
Yeah, the text says he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law.
Yeah.
They think he's joking or crazy. They don't believe him.
Tragic.
So even as the morning arrives, and the angels are literally urging Lot, his wife, his 2 daughters, come on, let's go, lest you be consumed too. Lot actually hesitates. He lingers.
It's strange, isn't it? After everything he's seen.
It really is. So much so that the angels have to physically grab their hands, his wife's, his daughters, and basically drag them out of the city. The text specifically notes this happened because the Lord being merciful unto him, it underscores this act of grace, even in his hesitation.
Absolutely. And once they're outside, the command is sharp, specific. Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
Don't look back. Don't stop anywhere on the plain. Get to the mountains. Seems clear enough.
But Lot hesitates again. He pleads with them. He's afraid of the mountain, says, I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Instead, he points to a small town nearby. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither, is it not a little one? And my soul shall live.
He wants to go to Zoar.
And surprisingly, they agree.
Yes, God accepts his plea. The text says, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. It's another moment of specific mercy towards Lot. But the urgency is still there. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou become thither. The destruction is imminent, waiting only for Lot to be safe in Zoar. And that's why the text tells us the city got its name, Zoar, meaning little.
Wow, okay, so the timing is precise. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. He makes it just in time.
And then it happens. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Total destruction. The text lists it all. Those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground, everything wiped out.
A complete overthrow.
But then there's that famous chilling detail, Lot's wife. She's escaping with him, but
his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
Just like that. She breaks the one specific command, look not behind thee, and the consequence is immediate.
It's such a potent image looking back. It signifies more than just curiosity, doesn't it? It suggests perhaps a longing, a lingering connection, a regret for what's being left behind, what's being judged. It violates the need for complete separation, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually from that condemned place. And the judgment is instant, final. A pillar of salt, stark, lifeless, a monument to disobedience.
Meanwhile, Abraham, who had pleaded for Sodom earlier, gets up early in the morning, looks towards the plain.
And he sees the smoke, rising as the smoke of a furnace. He witnesses the aftermath from afar. And the narrative makes a point here, connecting back. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow. Lot's deliverance is explicitly linked to God's relationship with Abraham.
So Sodom and Gomorrah are gone, Lot, his wife turned to salt, and his 2 daughters have reached Zoar. But the story isn't quite over, is it?
No, it takes another unsettling turn.
What happens next for Lot and his daughters? They've escaped, but...
Well, apparently Lot doesn't feel safe in Zoar either. The text says he went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, because he feared to dwell in Zoar. So, ironically, he ends up in the mountain anyway, the place he initially feared. But now he's living in a cave, just him and his 2 daughters, completely isolated.
Okay, so they're alone in a cave, cut off from everyone, and this is where things get really disturbing.
Extremely. The elder daughter speaks to the younger. She observes, "Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth." Their perspective is one of total isolation. As far as they know or believe, there are no other men available to continue the family line.
So they hatch a plan, a really drastic one.
Yeah. The elder says, "Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father."
Preserve the family line. That's their stated motivation.
Exactly. It points to this intense cultural imperative to have descendants. In their context, lacking descendants meant the family line dying out, complete extinction almost. Given their isolation and the recent destruction, you can sort of see the desperate logic, however morally troubling it is. They see it as the only way.
So they get their father drunk 2 nights in a row. The first night, the elder daughter lies with him. The second night, the younger does. And the text makes a point of saying Lot was completely oblivious. He perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose, both times.
Right. The text emphasizes his lack of awareness, placing the agency entirely with the daughters in this specific act. And the result is stated very plainly. Thus were both the daughters of Lot, with child by their father.
And these children become the ancestors of 2 nations, right?
Yeah, that's how the narrative frames it. The firstborn daughter has a son named Moab. He's presented as the ancestor of the Moabites. The younger daughter has a son named Benammi, the ancestor of the Ammonites. So what's fascinating here is this story doesn't just end with the fire and brimstone. It continues into this really challenging account of family, survival, and lineage. It provides this origin story, this foundational myth for 2 peoples who were significant neighbors and often rivals of ancient Israel.
It really shows the complexity of survival, doesn't it? The extreme lengths people might go to when facing what they see as utter extinction.
It absolutely does. It's a raw depiction of that drive to continue, depicted through the lens of this ancient text, raising all sorts of difficult questions about morality and necessity in extreme circumstances.
So this deep dive has taken us through a narrative packed with these intense decisions, divine commands, and some really profound consequences. It really makes you think, doesn't it? About the sheer weight of commands like, look not behind thee, and then this primal drive, the need to preserve seed, even at such a difficult moral cost. Lots to consider there.